beauty of the blue skies. Those are different colors, blue. And the pine trees. What are you all doing today? So I was just visiting, and you all continue to be safe. Remember that COVID is still out there, and it's not just about distance and wearing masks. Of course, we should do that. When you're wearing the mask, you're covering holes, for instance, like your nostrils. Make sure those are covered. And if you wear glasses, it'll be a good idea to wear those because of the mucous membranes in your eyes. You know, when you think of mucous membranes, you think of your lips, because it's easy for those to be contaminated, if you want to look at it that way. And so when you're thinking of respiratory, so that's one mode, and you may say, well, I don't need it where people aren't around me. Well, one of the doctors brought out that if you've been in an area, for instance, if someone was jogging in an area 2 or 3 hours before you, the person has COVID, and say they coughed or sneezed, then for 2 to 3 hours, those droplets could still be in the air. And you could get COVID that way if you're not wearing a mask, even though it's outside. And outside is safer than inside. The air quality is better, but still, yeah. Those are just possible ways. And then say if the person touches his or her nose, which people normally do, the nose, the mouth, the eyes, and then they touch an object. You're in the store somewhere, or the knobs, so make sure you keep cleaning your knobs on your doors. And they touch that, you could get it that way too. So it's not just in the air, respiratory, it's also, you can touch different objects and droplets. They go everywhere. So let's see what else we can talk about. Totally different subject. Urinary tract infection. And so we always here to help prevent that. You wipe from front to back, meaning that what's in the back, you do not want that to get on the front. So when you're wiping from front to back, think of it in that way, ladies and girls. Okay. And also, what helps to prevent urinary tract infection, we think of pineapple juice or cranberry juice. And if you're prone toward it, then you may want to consume those at least daily. And if we think of pain, because a lot of people are in pain, especially in the wintertime, because it's cold and you feel it more, and then there's certain foods you can eat that tend to reduce pain, and there are other foods that can make pain worse. For instance, fried foods can make it worse because of inflammation. So we think of foods like that. Sweets, like we're talking about refined sweets, like normal candy, normal cake that are not made with something like stevia, or truvia, which is another form of it that costs less. And things that can help it, berries. You think of food like quinoa. Quinoa is great for the brain. When you think of preparing it, it tastes good with tomatoes. And also in thinking of preparing it, it's sort of like cooking rice or grits, which in the South, you know, we tend to like grits. And in the North, people tend to like oatmeal more. Well, I like both, but I actually do like grits better. Oatmeal probably is a little healthier for us, okay? But just enjoying the ride and wanted to spend some time with you all. How are you doing? Hello, Brent. Thank you for hopping on. Yeah, thank you for the thumbs up. I appreciate you. So just enjoying the ride with you all and talking about things as I think of them. And in the South, we like tea. So with tea, that's okay. Especially some of the teas that are healthy for us, like certain herbal teas, But there's some that relaxes, like the hibiscus tea. You don't want to drink that and then drive. Well, chamomile also. These things at night, if you're trying to go to sleep, help you to rest though. Right? And in the daytime, you may want to have some green tea. But be careful of caffeine if you have heart disease with that. So things in moderation. The green tea is helpful. It makes your skin prettier. It helps lower your risk of certain cancers. And as far as lowering your risk of certain cancers, then we think of the dark green leafy vegetables. We call those the cruciferous foods. They're really good at that. And there was one Dr. Israel who used to talk about a family of foods like the apples and peaches that are helpful for lowering your risk of breast cancer. And when we think of prostate cancer, we think of foods that are more helpful, like broccoli. So they're really helpful. And foods that taste good and are healthy for us. You like those little sweet peas, the green round ones? They taste good. Okra, if you like okra. Corn, if you like corn maybe. What foods do you like that are healthy and taste good? So you can always find substitutes for foods that are not as good for us. And then after a while, you don't have to replace all of them at one time, but maybe one by one. And after a while, then we hardly desire the foods that are not as good for us. Like if you're trying to reduce your weight or maintain your weight, and you like bread, for instance, then you would consume bread in moderation. And if you look at foods that are enriched or processed, then they're less healthy for us. So that's why when we see enriched bread, and that would be that white bread, you hear people say, well, that used to be called the Blue Cross Blue Shield building, now it's called Companion, but you still see the Blue Cross Blue Shield symbols on it. So, lots of pine trees in South Carolina. My father used to say South Carolina is made up of pine trees and sand. So as we head to Georgia, you'll also still see lots of pine trees, but then you'll start to see more red clay. So when you see the Atlanta Braves and their uniforms, a lot of times when they're sliding and they're at a home game, you see that red dirt. Yeah. It's a nice view. Nice vibe for us in the morning here. And it's 11:32 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. 2 Notch Roads, that means we're in Columbia, the capital city, as they like to call it. Sometimes they like to call it Cola. Short for Columbia. And then Charlotte is nearby in North Carolina. Call it the Queen City. Let's see what else we can talk about health-wise. So berries, they're good for so many things. So berries are good not only for helping to reduce pain, but they also help to reduce risk of cancer. And we do want to do that because, so many people. I remember one time my uncle said, it looks like everybody's going in the ground. Everybody going in the ground has cancer. Well, that was a little bit of an exaggeration he was using, but yeah, lots of people do. They can survive a lot of things, but cancer, a lot of times people will use the conventional medicines, such as, and I did when I had it, the chemotherapy, the radiation, but also I did use some natural remedies as well. I wouldn't say remedies, I should say things that help to reduce the risk or help to make it more tolerable. Like I had this liver support, and that was good because one time my liver enzymes went way up during chemotherapy, and then it took it down within a week and a half. Ate lots of greens so that Because when a person is getting chemotherapy, they may have, they're more anemic. The red blood cells are low, the hemoglobin, hematocrit, white blood cells, and things of that sort. So, with the white blood cells being lower, then we have to look at increased risk of infection. So we have to be real careful during that time. Sometimes you'll see people with chemo, even before COVID, would wear masks while they were receiving chemotherapy. And that was good because they're at higher risk of getting infections during that time. See, still autumn. And so the trees still have this beautiful color. Oh, I love that. It would be nice to be in the Poconos at this time. My parents used to go to the Poconos for their anniversary. It seems like, and that was every October, so it was really beautiful. And then they would also go to Florida. So, oh yeah, there's some palm trees. Oh, I don't know if y'all can see them. They're beautiful. Not palm trees. What did I say? I think I did see some. Besides the pine trees. Because South Carolina is the palmetto states. Yeah. So pretty. Pretty blue skies. The clouds. More pine trees. Thank you, Brent, and all for taking this ride with me. So let's see what else we can talk about. And heart disease. So when a person has heart disease, we want to avoid extremes of temperature, like hot, or very cold. So that's not just outside. So if you're outside and it's very cold, then you would want to make sure you're bundled up very well. I remember one of the football players, who had been in the NFL said what they did, they put Vaseline all over, and that would help to keep them warm, besides whatever else they had on. And so when you're talking about not just what you drink, you don't want anything very, very cold or very, very hot, but also, so we're talking about drinks and we're talking about outside temperatures. Watch out for things like that. And caffeine, of course, can make it worse. It can trigger some problems there for you. And then sometimes people have heart failure, or you may know someone with heart failure, and you may easily see them become edematous, the swelling in their ankles, their legs. And so when that happens, they may have some type of medication they call a fluid pill. It's a diuretic. So you may think of Lasix or furosemide, which are the same thing. And they need those, because their legs their feet get so swollen and they can hardly put their shoes on. That's getting serious there. So they definitely want to take their medicine. Sometimes you may see their eyes get puffy. And so this is time to take action. Sometimes they haven't been taking their medicine faithfully, and so they can also elevate their legs. And like when we have swelling, sometimes besides getting checked out by your physician, then whatever you elevate above your heart, then that decreases the swelling because it's going toward returning blood to your heart. And I was thinking of something else just now I wanted to share when it comes down to that in the heart. And if you have high blood pressure, check your blood pressure. Have a cuff at home. And check your medication for expiration dates. Okay, now congestion here. That might not be as fun to watch, I think. Okay, we're still moving. Maybe people are getting off a little early for lunch. I wonder how many people are already off. Oh, he says it's construction ahead. Okay. That's the hubby. I'm glad I'm getting a chance to do videos instead of driving. My father used to call me a nervous passenger. Other people call me a backseat driver. Oh, Broad River Road. Okay, lane narrows. Okay, it's very cloudy over this side. Not very, but it's looking rather cloudy. Look over this side. The sky look much. Oh, here's the river. Okay, because we were crossing Broad River Road, so that must be Broad River. Well, it's gone now, so it'll come back over. Sugar Creek. Spartanburg, Charleston, Broad River Road. The house is over there. A whole neighborhood. Oh, I see the construction. Okay. There's a caterpillar. Nice machines. And another one. Oh, those are apartments over there. Over there where it's dark. Look at the sky turning. Well, we may run into some rain. Okay, it's getting darker. And over here, still looks pretty good. Pretty good. There, these clouds. Oh, so pretty. Oh, I want to look at the side of a truck. Some trucks are so pretty though. Okay. And so with babies, if we start babies out, when they start eating, and they're old enough to start eating solid foods, if we start them out with vegetables instead of fruit, those children tend to like to eat healthy when they're older. They like vegetables. You don't have to talk them into eating vegetables because you start them out that way. Now that's a wonderful thing. And a lot of times when people are sick, they do need some extra vitamins and minerals. And when people are 65 or over, or if they have a chronic illness, then they usually need to see a healthcare provider at least every 3 months. And if they have a problem, of course, more often than that. Bush River Road, Synergy. Doubletree by Hilton over there. Urban Studios. Market Point Center. Okay. Headed back to Georgia. Looks like it might be a rainy night in Georgia because a lot of times South Carolina and Georgia have the same type of weather. Not at the same time, though, but close. Close together. Real estate. West Columbia. Okay, we're on the way out. It's Lexington. I understand they have a really good, the hospital there is really good for patients who've had cancer or, who are actually fighting cancer. this area, MUC Health, MUSE. Southeastern Freight. Okay, now it's starting to get cloudy over here too on this side. It looks different. I think we're going to run into some rain. Back to that side. Yeah. Lexington, West Columbia. Oh, some golden trees. Bridge. Charisma Hill. So they're expanding. They seem to be acquiring different hospitals, just like MUSC. Originally, you saw them in Charleston only. Oh yeah. Hills. The walls. But not on this side. We can still see some trees. Those pine trees. Tall pines. I like the architecture of this wall too, though. The architecture. Nice sound barrier for the neighbors and safety, so we don't go running all the way off into the woods from the interstate. Probably helps with the deer jumping into the road too. I saw a family of deer one time on the side of it was like on a country road, and they were so pretty. The fawns, the baby deer, and they were just so beautiful because they weren't jumping at us; they were just standing there. Correct. 99999. That's who they said to call. And so, if a person has these severe headaches and this projectile vomiting, I don't know if you've ever seen where it jumps like about 3 feet, they definitely need to get checked out. They need to see a physician, preferably, because that could be serious. If you're talking about a headache and a stiff neck, that's a problem too. You need to see someone right away. And I was just talking, Medical Services of America. They have some palm trees over there. West Columbia, Lexington. The sky is getting darker and darker. We had all this blue when we first came on. Now it's gray. It's been replaced by gray. Wow. Yeah. Both sides. Wonder how long it'll be before it starts raining. So we had some things on this site about this particular channel talking about health and wealth. So we have this marketing, digital marketing that I ran into. Well, actually, I contacted a guy. He lives in Atlanta, right? His grandfather was one of the past presidents of Morehouse. And in one of the businesses, a wellness business, at first when he got in 2018, he had the fastest growing business out of all of the ones in North America. And then later, by 2022, he had he was the fastest growing. I talked to him and he told me that he was the fastest growing millionaire in the company. Right? It's a network marketing company, a wellness company. So I contacted him. So I contacted him in an airplane because I contacted him from time to time to thank him and listen to his mindset calls and see if he's going to resume them. And so he let me know when he's going to resume them, and he did. And so he introduced, because he was giving out a lot of information for free for people who were not even on his team. And it was helping me. And so I contacted him to, see what else was going on and to get some advice from him. And he was telling me about this digital marketing. And when I talk to people in IT, they said, yeah, you can make a lot of money with that. So my thing always is to help other people too. And so they do have one where you can help. It's like a blueprint showing people, oh, look at the bird, I don't know if you can see it, showing people how to, and whatever business they have, how to grow it successfully and without, bothering friends and family. Of course, you can do that also if you want to help your friends and family, but you won't need them in order to become successful. That's the difference. And so it's a great blueprint. And with that, not only can you help others grow their business, but they allow you, it's not called affiliate because you keep 100% of the profit. They said it's the reason it's not called affiliate, being an affiliate. But you actually keep 100% of the profit. And so it's pretty great. And they teach you how to do the work in less time, in 2 hours a day, and you can make daily pay. So that's pretty good. So I like that. But if anyone who wants to know more about that can always put ready in the comments. Especially when the live is over, you can come back and look at it and do that. But I like that. And I also do, like you're talking health and wealth. And sometimes that is very important to maintain your health. We're talking about preventative care. And oftentimes it does cost more to eat healthy. If someone likes vegetables and seafood, when we're talking about like fish, one doctor says Carolina whitings, and those are important. Cold water fish, he likes the tuna and mackerel. He recommends those. And fish in general. One doctor we were talking about, he said to be careful of the mercury that's in the tuna. And so I talked to my cardiologist about it, and I said, well, I do the sardines. And so the doctor said, another doctor, my primary care, he said, oh, sardines are great, And we talked about, I said, they eat salmon. He said, oh, yeah, salmon is great. Now, when I said shrimp, of course, he reminded me that they are bottom feeders, as he called them. They don't eat healthy in the sea. I said, I know, but I'm just being honest with you. This is when I was losing my weight, and I lost 67 pounds. I was eating mainly vegetables and seafood, fish or whatever kind, seafood. But when I ate shrimp, I did do so in moderation because I know about the cholesterol in it. So I was doing omega-3 to help with cholesterol, and then taking in a type of fiber. There are different types of fiber drinks. And so I was doing that pretty much every day. So that helped me too. And I was doing these slimming gummies. They help, and they taste good because they would take the place of snacks. And I was eating less meals. I heard Stormer, let's see, is his name? I'm trying to think. Is it Storm Monroe? He was saying that he lost weight by going down to 1 meal a day. And I don't know if he was drinking shakes other times, but I know I was doing shakes and snacks, healthy shakes. And I went down to 2 meals per day. But now I'm back to pretty much 3 most times, but not necessarily, but I'm just eating healthy snacks. And so when the doctor saw my lab work, they were just so happy. So look at this site over here. I believe they sell those campers. Lots of them. Okay, we're stopped again. Let's see. Yeah, I think they sell those. They look nice because it was like if this were a campsite, I don't think they would all be the same color. It looks pretty. Okay, more pine trees. Sometimes the interstate can become a parking lot. Everyone's still and can't move. Yeah. We are sitting now. And when we talk about sweets, we think about, okay, so complex carbohydrates like starches. We're looking at things like potatoes and noodles. Sweet potatoes and then next white potatoes both have more potassium in them than bananas. How about that? And most of the time when we think of potassium, we think of bananas first. So those are starches, complex carbohydrates. And so where you have potassium and sodium going the opposite direction. So with that, you know how when we take in too much sodium, that can cause us to swell. So if our potassium is adequate, taking enough potassium, it's going to go in the opposite direction of sodium. So that may help swelling to go down. Pretty green trees, evergreens. We are sitting now. Almost noon. If it's construction, maybe they'll go on a lunch break. And then we can move again. Pine trees and straw. Aren't the pines so pretty? Wow, so pretty. Creation. Beautiful, beautiful green. A little bit of blue creeping again. Maybe. See the straw under the pines. Good morning. Yes, well, it's still morning. Oh, that's beautiful. A vanishing point in art. Looks like it's slanted when it's not. Look at it straight. That way. I need to look at it at the angle. There have been someplace else instead of in front of us, so you can really see the vanishing point of the two. Both sides. Okay. That felt pretty good with that window down, but the air is on, so you may not want the window down. That fresh air was nice. Lane ends 500 feet, right lane. Yes, it is construction. It's doing this to us. I-20 West. This was in the evening, and we had a sunset coming up. Oh, this was nice. I have to do that next time. People are moving to the left lane. That is woods. Rail has a little bit of damage. Right lane closed. And the sky is looking better. Lane closed. Definitely. South Carolina Department of Transportation. Another caterpillar. That sign got me up. This one looks okay. Pretty trees. That one is leaning. It's like the wind got hold to it. Mhm. I have seen like after a hurricane, the trees is flat on the ground and just beautiful. Still, of course, in bloom. Beautiful green leaves. Like 4 of the gigantic ones in a row. Not pine trees. Ones with big barks. Oh, someone on the side of the road. I know that feeling. I've been there years ago. And when trucks pass by, the car shakes. Batesburg, Leesville, Augusta. advertise. But do it. Because along in here, you don't see many places to go eat. So you get hungry right here, or thirsty. I remember when we were young, my grandmother was sending her sons and daughters back up north with my mother to back to Philadelphia, South Carolina to Philadelphia. So they still do it now. Guess it's time to roll the window back up. Okay, you can tell it's construction. Look at that. Oh yes, and the vanishing point where they go down and in the diagonal line the trees and meet, almost meet in the middle, going down. So, and we are slowing down again. It's okay though. We're moving forward. It's now afternoon here now, 12:07 p.m. Still some color and some trees and other trees looking like wintertime with no leaves on them. We are very close to it being officially winter. Oh, the trees are pretty. That one almost looked like an arch. Oh, that's so pretty. Right there. I may go over to my other channel, the Adventures in Wellness, and then the other one is Abundant Purchasing Power. I may go over to those and go live over there for a little while. Yeah, we're back in business now. We're moving. The hills. Yeah. Houses. So yeah, I have some content from back at the house. My mom was cooking. I wish I had gotten a video the other time of her souffle, when you're first taking it out of the oven, ooh, it looks so pretty because you have these marshmallows on them, and the marshmallows are all poofed and big, like big cotton balls, and then you set them on a counter, on top of something so that they won't burn the counter, and then eventually, actually rather quickly, the marshmallows go down to the regular size. Ooh, when they first come out of the oven. So pretty. Oh, I like this with the hills and the curves. Not so much the curves to drive on. Yeah, they can be dangerous if we take them too fast. Oof. So when they're on the racetrack, are they constantly going around a curve? And sometimes they hit the wall. Oh. So a barn and some houses. Augusta. So, we have a place called North Augusta, South Carolina. When you go in there, it's really pretty. Different parts of it, like this river, and you go over it. Oh, it's so lovely. And then we have Augusta, Georgia. So, James Brown, sometimes you'll hear that he's from South Carolina, and sometimes you hear from Georgia. So you may hear North Augusta, South Carolina. You may hear Augusta, Georgia. So, we know Ray Charles, he's from Georgia. I was looking the other day, I think I'll share this. In Albany, Georgia, there's this Ray Charles Park, and it's beautiful. It's like a statue of him, and I'm sitting there playing the piano, and it's rotating slowly. And then around it, it's like he's up on a stage, and then for the sidewalk, it's like keyboards. It's like a keyboard. It's like a piano. You have the keys, the black keys, and the white keys in their proper places. It is lovely. And then there's like this creek or river going by it. Oh, it's so nice. And you're sitting out there just listening to his music, and it's like you're at a Ray Charles concert. And this goes on 24/7, and it's right there outside of a hotel. So if you're staying at that hotel, it's really easy to just walk down to it. And it's very close to Albany State University. Not walking distance, not for me anyway. You can easily catch a ride there. I was going to Albany State University. I would catch a cab there. Uber wasn't something that was very popular yet. And so I would catch a taxi there. I think it was like 2 miles. It would be $8. So, oh well. One way. Because I had already been diagnosed with cancer then, and I wasn't doing so well. So that's why I wasn't driving around so much anymore. I used to drive through several states, but now, not even for very short distances. Sometimes I will, if I'm feeling well. Because what happens is I may get dizzy while I'm driving. And I've had to give out advice so many times to tell people if they're dizzy not to drive. That's dangerous. So I definitely needed to take my own advice. And that was like part of the protocol when I was working as an advice nurse in the metro Atlanta area. This is pretty coming up. It's a little hill, the pretty trees. So I think I'm going to go over to one of my other channels, Ventures and Wellness or Abundant Purchasing Power. I think I'll go over to Abundant Purchasing Power to see if I can go live over there. And if not, I'll go to Ventures and Wellness. Talk to you all later, and thank you for spending this time with me. I love you, and as far as it depends upon you, make the day amazing, peaceful, great, and safe. I love you. Bye-bye.